everybody. I know it's been a few months now since our trip to Disney World, and I just kind of wanted to go over a few things about the trip and kind of update everybody on my health journey during the trip, just to kind of give everybody, like I said, a heads up and just kind of talk about things a little bit since we're out a ways from coming back, and gonna give our feelings about some issues since we've had time to process everything from the trip. We were at Disney World for 8 days and 7 nights, which is longer than we normally stay at Disney World. And we usually go for 3 nights, either 2 nights or 3 nights, depending on how much time that we have and how many vacation days we have. And then this, like I said, this time we were there for 7 nights and 8 days. I have been spending the last little over a year trying to get healthier and make better choices about what I'm eating and whatnot. And have been trying to do some walking and just trying to do a little bit of exercise. For about 3 or 4 months before the trip to Disney World in January of 2019, which is, we just came back from a couple months ago, things have been really hectic at work, and I've been extremely exhausted just coming home from work because they've been really long hours, over 10 hours a day, in excess of 10 hours a day, and just very taxing. And so I haven't really felt like doing a whole lot of walking several months prior to the trip. So I didn't walk, and it showed when I went over to the nutritionist every month. The numbers weren't going the way that I'd wanted them to go. So I was very nervous going into the trip in January, and just because I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to do with being up and active for 8 days in a row. One of the things that made me decide to start doing all this was that we had gone on a trip to Disney World in October of 2017, and I had been having to use a scooter every time we'd gone, and that trip was included. I had to use a scooter, and because I couldn't walk for very long at any particular time, couldn't do it. But I'd gotten pictures back, and there's pictures from the Memory Maker. I had gotten pictures from the Memory Maker, and looking at them, I just was horrified. And I had mentioned this during one of my other getting healthy videos too. I actually posted the picture in the video that just made me change my mind and needed to do something to change my lifestyle. So I was nervous. We had gone to Disney. Jeff had surprised me with a short trip to Disney World in September 2018, and we were only in the park for a day. We did the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot for a day. We flew in on a Monday, just hung around the hotel, went to Epcot on Tuesday, did the Food and Wine Festival, and then just hung around on Wednesday before needing to fly home. And I did fine that day because I'd been walking for 8 months already, 3 or 4 times a week. 5 times a week sometimes, walking 15 to 20 miles during those total walking 15 to 20 miles, and so I did fine. I did not need a scooter that trip in September of 2018. I did not need a scooter. We were able to walk around and do what we needed to do. I was super excited because I did not need a seatbelt extender in the airplane, which I'd been having to need one for the last several trips before that. And so I was real excited. And then about that same time, like the bottom fell out at work. I got super stressed out about some things, and those stress causers are still in place today. And been working 10, 12, 14-hour days, having to go in on my days off to work. Like, I just got off of working a 12-day work week, and 2 of those days were in excess of 12 hours. And walking through warehouses and having to check on, we're supervising other people, so we're having to check on them to see how they're doing and helping them with their work, plus do all of ours and making sure we get everything done in a certain time. So it was very stressful. I'm getting ready to have to start another 11-day work week tomorrow. And so, I haven't really felt like doing much walking because I've been so exhausted when I get off of work. But, so anyway, we get to this past January. I really hadn't walked much since our trip in September, so I was nervous about it. And we went, I pushed myself through it, and we were able to do the entire 8 days without me getting a scooter. Still did not have to have a seatbelt extender while we were there. And so I was really excited that I was able to do, we did 5 days in the parks, and then 3 days we just hung out and did stuff around Disney World property. So we did like the monorails and the boats one day, stopped at different hotels through the monorail and the boats. So it's like the Wilderness Lodge, the campgrounds, Contemporary, the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, and we hung around there, ate at those places. There was another day that we did downtown, or Disney Springs, I still call it downtown Disney Springs, and we went to play miniature golf that day, and then ended up at our hotel at Coronado, and ate dinner at our hotel at the Maya Grill. And then the last day we hung around, went back to the Polynesian, hung out at our hotel for a while before needing to get back on the bus to the airport. But I walked the entire time. It was over 140,000 steps that I did throughout that trip. And my feet got tired. Yeah, my feet started to hurt. But I just pushed through it. I sat down some and made sure to get a lot of breaks and sit down and just paced myself. I didn't try to rush through anything, and I was able to make it. And I was actually really surprised and really proud of myself for doing it. I'm still not walking like I want to. I'm hoping that soon things will I'm expecting things to stay pretty bad up at work for at least another month or two, and then it will start to get better. We have someone who is retiring that is the root cause of all the issues. So I'm hoping after this person retires that things will get a little bit better, and I'll be able to get back on track with doing my walking and stuff. I actually am off work today and tomorrow, but we have had a hard freeze warning, which is not common here in Houston, and it actually got down into the 20s last night. So our high today, well, right now it is 10 o'clock in the morning, and it is 42 degrees outside. So that's pretty cold for Houston, especially with the wind chill. And wind chill says that feels like it's in its 30s outside. So I'm not going to go out and try to walk when it feels like it's in the 30s outside. That's just a little rough for me. I could go to the mall. I could try to walk through the mall, and I've done that before. I enjoy walking outside. It kind of helps clear my mind. Usually I'm a little too preoccupied walking the mall, wanting to look at all the stuff in the stores and wanting to go shopping and whatnot. So I'll do it if I need to, and I might end up having to do that later on today because I'm feeling pretty good about stopping and just going for a walk. I do have a nutritionist appointment today, and also I'm going to get a massage. I try to do that every month, and just to kind of help relax me and help me feel better. So we'll see how it goes. But thanks for listening. I am out here at Bear Creek Park again today. Like I said, I came out here just to see how cold it felt out here, and it feels just as cold here as it does where I live. So anyway, thanks for listening while I ramble on, and we'll get back to normal here soon, hopefully, and I'll be able to give you more positive feedback on my journey to get healthy. But I really do feel like being able to walk for 8 days through the parks when I've typically had to get a scooter just for being in the parks for 3 days, I think that's a really good positive thing. I'm excited about it. So thanks for following along during my journey.